It was the morning of the 11th day of our trip, and the hotel we were staying at near Nordkapp was packed with tourists. Our bikes were loaded and parked outside the front door, and we were wearing our riding gear during breakfast so that we could make a quick exit after we ate. The dining hall must have had 300 to 400 people in it, with communal tables with about 50 to 60 people per table. As we were eating, I realized I had put my morning vitamin in the pocket of my jeans. So I stood up and had to reach under 2 layers of riding pants and into the pocket of my jeans to find the vitamin, which was quite a struggle. Kevin, who was sitting directly across from me, looked up and said,
"Hey Terry, do you realize what that looks like you're doing?"
I sat right back down and imagined 400 pairs of eyes looking at me in shock and disgust. I figured now was a good time to make that quick exit. From that moment on, Kevin never called me Dark Cloud Durant again. I was now known as Nut Scratcher Durant. Today we're riding from Skarsvåg, Norway, into Finland to the Russian border, and then on to Sariselka, Finland, about 345 miles. It was a cool, quiet, and misty morning, and Kevin and I wanted to soak in as much of what miles were left of Norway as we possibly could. We arrived at our hotel early in the evening. When we walked into the reception area, we were greeted by a very Scandinavian-looking, attractive lady. But looks were deceiving. She was tough. She went over the rules of the hotel with strict authority. She even told us about all of the extra activities we could do around here, and she practically demanded we enjoy doing them. Also, I was not to leave the lobby of the hotel until I filled out that last section of the registration card that I left intentionally blank, thinking it wasn't all that important. As Kevin and I were walking to our rooms, we thought we'd better follow the rules and we'd better have fun doing it or else. I asked Kevin if he happened to catch her name. Even though he didn't know the answer to that question, without thinking for a second, he said,
Hoofa.
Later in the evening, Kevin decided he was going to go sit in the sauna for a while I stayed in the room updating my website and transferring video files to my laptop. As I sat in front of my computer, I imagined Kevin in the sauna being whipped to tears by Hoofa with a wet tree branch. Kevin returned unscathed, and we turned our attention to seeing if we could resolve our intercom problem by resetting the devices to the factory settings. But we needed a paperclip to stick in the tiny hole of the intercoms to do so. We tore our rooms apart looking for a paperclip, or even something similar, for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then reality set in. One of us was going to have to go to the lobby and ask Hoofa for a paperclip. I looked at Kevin, and with a slight grin, he slowly shook his head, no. As I approached Hoofa's lair, I imagined a paperclip being plunged into my forehead. Now this place scared the crap out of me. Hoofa pleasantly parted with one of her paperclips that night, but we were unable to fix the intercoms. Day 12 would take us from Saraselka, Finland to Kastila, Finland, about 343 miles, and day 13 would take us on to Helsinki, Finland, another 336 miles. We'd grown accustomed in our travels to the Arctic Circle being in remote, unpopulated locations. This was quite a contrast. got my jacket, got my iPad.
Yeah, got your arms and legs, man. Come on. Let's go to Helsinki, man.
I brought 3 credit cards with me on this trip, and not one of them ever worked when trying to pay for gas outside at the pump. And when we weren't able to pay inside, which happened a lot, Kevin got stuck paying for my gas every time. I felt like the guy at the restaurant who always says he forgot his wallet.
Yeah. Can't get out.
The morning of the 14th day, we had a little extra hop in our step because last night we were on the phone with the company that makes the helmet intercoms for more than an hour. Now they're working just fine. Now that our trip is a few days from coming to an end, that is. Today would be an easy day. We didn't have to board our ship to Stockholm until later in the afternoon, so we had a good part of the day to casually cruise around Helsinki.